Hey everyone, we are back with Chapter 1, Lesson 2, and we're talking about example number 2. So we're going to be using the properties that we just discussed, the commutative, associative, and identity properties, to simplify the expressions. So we're going to simplify each expression and then justify each step. So sometimes the order of operations can be helpful, especially when you're dealing with a problem like this, 21 plus 16 plus 9. Now, we could just add it and do the order of operations, go from left to right. But one thing I notice when I look at this problem is that 21 and 9 actually go really, really well if you were to add those together first, because 21 plus 9 equals 30, and so it gives you a nice round number. And so what we're going to do is we're actually just going to use the properties to switch the order. So when I'm going to left to right, I can't do that because 16 is in the way, but that's cool because I can use the, drum roll please, commutative property, what says I can, whenever I'm talking about addition, I can just switch the order. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch the order of the 9 and the 16. So I'm going to go 21 plus 9 plus 16. I just switched the order, which is totally okay because of the commutative property, commutative. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that word, commutative. Property of addition. So we're solving the expression and we're justifying. So when we are saying the reason why we're doing something, so I'm saying, hey, I'm switching the 16 plus the 9, instead I'm going to write it 9 plus 16. Well, the reason why I can do that is because the commutative property of addition. So that's basically what justify each step means. Like when you do something, why are you doing it? What's the reason why you're doing it? And the reason why you're doing it is because of the commutative property of addition. So from there, now I'm just going to add from left to right. So 21 plus 9, that is 30 plus 16. Well, why can you do that? Well, I can do that because I'm simplifying. Okay, that's an L. And then we're just going to go 30 plus 16. 30 plus 16 is 0 plus 6 is 6. 3 plus 1 is 4. 46. And again, why was I able to do that? Well, because I simplified again. Simplify. So those are the reasons. So this is what justifying your step means. So everything you do, why can you do it? You have to state a reason. Okay, and you're going to do that a lot when you get later in math, especially in geometry. So let's go ahead. Let's do this one. Multiplication, fun. Is there anything that's jumping out to you? What I see is this problem can be easier. We can do order of operations, just go left to right, 20 times 9, all that type of fun stuff. But what I see, again, is that if we were to combine the 20 times the 5 first, that is actually equal to 100, and it would be easier to solve that problem that way. So I'm just going to switch the order again of these two. I'm going to go 20 times 5 times 9, and that is the commutative property again, but this time we're not doing addition. What are we doing? Property of multiplication. You are correct. All right, cool. So then now everything's multiplication, and it's we got the two easy kind of numbers we can combine together. So 20 times 5 is 100 times 9, and we can combine those because we are simplifying, or simplify. And then we just do 100 times 9, which is 900. And that is also simplify. So that's easier than if we went 20 times 9, then whatever that is, then we multiply it by 5. We'd have to do it, there'd be a lot more calculations over here. So being able to just go 20 times 5, that's 100. 100 times 9 is 900. We're able to actually do the problem a little quicker. So I want you to work on these next problem. We're going to do, check it out, number 2. And I want you to try to do this one on your own. And I want you to try to look at these numbers and think about, when you're dealing with these, which two could I group together to make this way easier? And the same thing here. What could I group together to make it easier? So yeah, all right. Oh, where's our friend, the pause dragon? Here he comes. Now it is time to pause, work these problems out, and then press play, and then we'll go over them together. All right. When I'm looking at what I see is that if we were to put the 17 and the 3 together, that would make 20, which would make a really, really, make it a nice, easy number. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to switch the order of these. We're going to go 17 plus 3 plus 14. And why can you do that? Well, I can do it because of the commutative property of addition. Okay. Then I'm going to do the 17 plus 3, which is 20. I'm doing the order of operations, addition left to right, plus 14. Why can I do it? Well, because I can simplify a problem. And then 20 plus 14 is 34. And why can I do that? Because of simplifying. Okay, boom. So that is the answer. Simplify each expression. That's what that means. Justify each step. That's what this is. So it's kind of like a two-part problem. We have to make sure we do both parts. Okay, on to the other one. Now, this one may not be as straightforward as the other ones, but what you should kind of know is that if you were to put 12 times 5, that actually equals 60. And that's a nice kind of round, easy number to work with. So we're dealing with multiplication, so we're just going to switch the order of the 5 and the 3. So we're going to go 12 times 5 times 3. And again, that is the well, why can you do it? Remember the gist of each step. Why it's the commutative property of, what are we dealing with? We are dealing with multiplication. Multiplication. So in order to get these problems right, you have to write down exactly what I'm writing down, okay? So you have to do all this, show all your work, and justify all the steps and write all this stuff out. So that's a correct answer. So if you're not doing that, or if your paper doesn't look exactly like mine, then what you need to do is you need to, erase what you have or rewrite it or get yours to look like mine, because this is what the correct answer looks like. Okay, so let's get back to the problem. We have multiplication, order of operations, states we go left to right. So 12 times 5, that is 60 times 3. Well, why can you do that? Because we are simplifying. That's what we're doing, simplifying the problem. And then 60 times 3, that's what we need to do. Now, whenever there's a 0, if I just ignore the 0 and I say, hey, what's 6 times 3? Well, 6 times 3 is, this is just a quick way to do it. 6 times 3 is 18, and then you add a 0 on the end and you get 180. And why can I do that? Because you simplified. And we can check that by doing this. 60 times 3, 3 times 0 is 0, 6 times 3 is 18. You get the same answer, but that's just when I'm doing anything that has a 0, I just kind of take away the 0 for a moment, and I say, hey, what's 6 times 3? It's 18, and then I add the 0 right there. And so that's the answer, 180. And then these are all of the justifications for how we got there. All right. If you got that, great. You are awesome. You're amazing. You did a wonderful job. If yours doesn't look exactly like this, then what you need to do is you need to take some time right now and rewrite it so it looks like this. All right. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.